wanted to act this out today, and we wanted to think about together, why does Jesus call us sheep, and what does that call us to do in Jesus' kingdom? Well, in the first place, as you might have seen if you got your epistle, I was always kind of insulted by the fact that Jesus called us sheep. I mean, they're not really considered the brightest people. They're kind of like the animal version of those who would never be asked to bring potato salad to the Mensa picnic. They're not real bright. And so I thought, well, that's kind of insulting. So then I started studying sheep. And I discovered they are not nearly as silly as people think they are. In fact, they're pretty darn smart. Sheep know that by themselves, they cannot take on a wolf. So instead, they all gather together whenever they feel danger. And then, because their puffy heads and their puffy bottoms and their puffy bodies all look the same, the wolf or the other danger has a hard time finding the sheep. And so therefore, until the good shepherd comes to care for them, the sheep are already doing what they can to mitigate the danger that they're in. Now, within a flock, there are what we call leader sheep. There's usually 3 or 4 of them in every flock. And they're the ones who can sense danger even earlier. And they're the ones who can gather all the sheep up until they are all in the flock together. Even those sheep over there. Can you bring me those sheep? Charlotte, can you bring me the sheep? Put them here. Yeah, you go and put them right here on the table because all the sheep are going to be together. Because the leader sheep have asked them, have let them know that there's something dangerous happening and they all need to get together. And of course, I can't forget about the sheepdogs.
The sheepdog is being played by the wolf.
The sheepdogs go behind the flock of sheep, and they help the sheep to follow the shepherd to the next good pasture. And so, what does all of this have to do with us? Well, if we are all a flock, then we, too, cannot face everything in our lives alone. Whether it's sorrow, whether it's fear, whether it's danger, whether it's hunger, whether it's loneliness, whatever it is, we cannot face it alone. So we gather together with a flock of folks. And within that flock, we are comforted, or healed, or taken care of. What about those sheepdogs? Well, the sheepdogs are the ones who, like your clergy, have gone and studied theology and have a way of recognizing maybe where Jesus might be leading the flock next. But I want you to notice something about the sheepdogs. Jesus is in the front of the flock. The sheepdogs are in the rear. The job of the sheepdogs is to help herd the flock, not to lead the flock. The flock is led by Jesus, and the sheepdogs are there to help the flock hear the voice of Jesus and move in whatever direction they believe that God is calling them to do. So, you are all members of this flock. Are you maybe called to be one of the leader sheep, like those in our vestry or other lay leaders? Do you know when people need to get together? Are you good at hospitality, caring for folks? Are you good at going and visiting people and having a cup of coffee and talking? Are you good at studying and bringing new life to something that we all thought we knew, like what I found out about the sheep? All of these things are the role of leader sheep. Think about whether you are called to that role. And at the same time, every single sheepdog was once a member of a flock. And they finally decided to stop ignoring the voice of God and head for ordination. So that's something else that you think about as you're going through your life. Particularly, I would say women, and particularly in our 40s, we start wondering like what life is going to be like for the rest of it. Do we want to keep doing what we're doing now? Or is God really tugging at us to do something else? You might be called to be a sheepdog. Whatever we are called to be, we always follow Jesus, the Good Shepherd, and listen for his voice. In the name of the one living God, amen.